Jennifer. I don't normally Periscope in the evening, but I'm going to try it tonight. I'm sitting out here on my deck. I was just talking to one of my kiddos and telling him that I was thinking about scoping today. So thank you guys who are joining me at the dinner hour. We're getting ready to have storms in Kansas City for the next day or so. So it's an awesome evening. You guys want to see the, oh, thanks. Look at the sunset. It's beautiful. The skies are like freaky cool. You know what I mean? Hi from Ohio. Thanks for joining me. I've been having some Periscope issues. Some of you I think know this. And it happened after I upgraded to the new Periscope app on Friday. So sometimes it's freezing. I'm just going to go ahead and talk and pretend it's not going to freeze at all. And we're going to hope that that's the case. So my name is Jennifer Allwood. For those of you who are new to my scopes, hello from Michigan. And you're a sky freak? Me too. I just told somebody the other day, I don't trust people that don't look at the sky. I just feel like the sky is just a masterpiece of art every day. And for somebody that's creative, the sky is fascinating because it never is the same. You know, it's different all the time, which is one of the reasons why I find it just amazing. So I am getting ready to go to Louisville, Kentucky. And I'm going to be speaking on Monday to a group of around 200, 250 women who are in the painting industry, who paint furniture and that sort of thing. I'm super excited about going to speak with them. Am I going to see you, Junk Mama? Is that you? I hope so. Or are you saying it's you, meaning you like the skies too? So I am super stoked about that. And in going over some of my notes today, I'm sitting here rocking, sorry. Louisville, Kentucky is where I'm going to be. I'm speaking on behalf of Heirloom Traditions Paint Company. And so anyway, I am going to be talking a little bit, hello Debbie Potts, about burnout on Monday. And because I find a couple things that are fascinating about creative entrepreneurs. Yeah, you're burned out? Okay, I've got some tips for you. And I tried to start periscoping about this on Friday and it kept jamming and lacking and frustrating me. So I'm going to try it again. But the thing that I noticed about creative entrepreneurs is we feel really guilty about burnout when other industries do not. Oh, you're in Louisville. Email me at info@themagicbrushinc.com. I'll give you some information. And so for some reason, we creative people feel like we have the best jobs on earth most of the time. So if we get paid to make things beautiful for a living, we feel like a lot of times there's such a huge amount of gratefulness, especially somebody like me who has come out of being stuck in a cubicle. My background is in computer information systems. I have a degree in that I got about 14 years ago, graduated top of my class, magna cum laude, with a degree in computer information systems, and had an amazing job with a telecommunications company and hated every single second of it. Hated every second of it because it's so not what I was supposed to be doing in life. And so I actually went through a layoff at that job, and at that time I had just fallen in love with faux painting and decorative painting, and so I started my decorative painting business then. And so, you know, I'm super grateful that I'm not stuck in a cubicle, and I know so many women can relate to this. I wasn't stuck in a cubicle every day. And so over the course of owning the magic brush for the last 15 years, there's times when I have felt like, okay, I'm a little burned out. I'm a little over it right now. And if I have to talk about paint for one more day, I just would rather shoot myself in the foot. Hey, thanks for the earring love. These are from Nickel and Suede. They are all over Instagram and Facebook. They are light as a feather and they're so reflective. They're leather. They're amazing. So back to burnout. So at times when that happens to me, I used to feel like, oh, I'm such a jerk. I should be so glad I get to paint for a living, that I get to have a team of women and they go into people's houses, because I don't paint a ton anymore. I employ women who go in and paint for other people. And, you know, at times I think I shouldn't be feeling burnt out because I get to stay home and raise my babies and, you know, paint a piece of garage every couple of weeks, a piece of furniture or something. And so I should feel really grateful. Okay, but here's the deal. Being a creative entrepreneur for a living is no different than any other industry. We all go through times of feeling like we're burned out a little. We're kind of done with it. And there's some reasons for that. Normally, if you're a creative entrepreneur, and I'm going to get all religious on you here for a second, the way God designed your mind is He designed you to look at a piece of furniture and say, ooh, I could paint that red with a black gaze. Or I could do that gray with a little bit of gold. Or, ooh, I could paint that thing in black and distress the edges and do some gold accents. So you have all these ideas. And what happens to us creative entrepreneurs people is when we are creative and we keep doing the same thing over and over and over, like that is so, it goes against the very design that God created us to have. It goes against everything that is his gift to us, which is to look at stuff and see options, to look at something that's terrible and ugly and see what it could be. So when we do the same thing over and over and over, yes, we get bored easily. And when we get bored is when we get burned out. Now, we also get burned out when we don't do a good job with boundaries. How many of you on this scope have a problem with boundaries? And we are a different breed. You can't put us in a box as creative entrepreneur people. We're different. But people that struggle with boundaries also will get burned out because we have a hard time establishing boundaries, making people respect our boundaries. Because we're creative entrepreneurs, we're feelers. And we're very relational and a lot of times emotional. So we don't like putting boundaries in place because we don't want to offend, hurt feelings, piss people off, etc. And yes, the boundaries. Boundaries, Ava, not right now, sweetheart. Sorry, I've got a little girl out here. Yes, honey, that's fine. And so if we are not good with boundaries, we'll let people take advantage of us. And when we let people take advantage of us, then we get innately, we're like pissed at ourselves because we know better. We know we should do better. And when we don't do better, then we start feeling burnout, okay? And we talk about this a lot in my coaching programs for creative people because creative people are feelers. We're emotional. We're sensitive. Very rarely do I meet a creative person who has the mind of an accountant. It just doesn't happen. We're not a black and white business. We're a very all 50 shades of gray type of people. And so we have to stay interested in what we're doing. We have to establish decent boundaries so we don't get mad at ourselves because we just sold something for half of the price we should have, because we just bid something way under what we should have. I hate numbers, I know, but numbers are what goes into your bank account. And so we have to figure out good boundaries for our businesses so we make money so we can feed our families. And I'm committed to helping women do that as a coach for creative people. So couple suggestions for you guys if you're struggling with burnout, okay? One, sorry about that. One is you have to be around different types of people. And that means getting away from the joy suckers in your life. You've all got them. I've got them. Probably we've all been them at some point. And so if you are around joy suckers, that will not help you with your burnout. You need to be around people who shift your focus to the blessings, who help you shift your mindset to see what's going good in your business, what's going great with your talent. Thank you for the pink hearts, whoever is doing that. I appreciate that. You need to do, hey, thanks. I'm glad you're appreciating this in the farm kitchen. Thank you. I'd love it if you guys shared this, if this is something near and dear to you, because I'm almost to 1,000 Periscope followers, by the way. So I would love that. If you're feeling burnt out, you basically need to do something new. You need to learn how to do something new. Whether that means taking an old thing, you're funny, taking an old thing and learning a new way of doing it, or just completely learning something new from scratch. Thank you, the painted chest. Thank you, Mrs. Pantera. Thanks. Learn something new with your craft. I'm a faux finisher. Whenever I would get burned out, I would go to school. I'd go to a couple days school and I would be like, oh my gosh, that's what I needed. I needed to be around other people who like to get their hands messy, who like to look at color, who like to think outside the box, who want to paint walls different. When I'm around joy suckers, I want to shoot myself in the foot. When I'm around people who are, let's see here. I'm distracted now at weird comments. When I'm around people who are creative and they are thinking differently, even if it's not in my industry, I get re-inspired in my own industry, okay? Another couple of ideas. Don't always look at your burnout as a negative thing. Yes, you need to hang out with creative people. And I, being a creative person, I hang out with a lot of business people because business-minded people are very creative thinkers if they have a successful business. I try to hang out with people way smarter than me because I need that stuff to rub off on me. Amen? Can I get an amen for that? I need to be around people smarter than me. Who is it? Is it Jim Rohn that said you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with? So if you're hanging around 5 joy suckers, guess what you're going to be? The average of them. If you're hanging around 5 people who are stinking superstars in their business and in their creative abilities, you will be the average of them. Hang out with people who are different than you at times. It makes such a difference. Yes, Jim Rohn, thank you. Such a difference in your life. I love that quote from him. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That works in your finances. Think about your 5 closest friends. Are you about in the middle of where they are all at financially? Think about spiritually. The 5 people you're closest to, are you about the average of where they're at? Because it usually works in about every setting, okay? One last thing here. If you're dealing with burnout, don't look at burnout as a bad thing. Often burnout is God's way of going, you know what? I want to shift you and your business just ever so slightly. I want to just get you out of what you're doing just a little bit and shift you ever so slightly. And the only way sometimes he can do that is by getting us dissatisfied with where we're currently at, which is usually what burnout is. And so often when I'm feeling burnt out, I usually try to recognize I got to do something different. I got to get rid of some joy suckers. I got to get around people more creative and more brilliant and smarter than I. I got to watch who I'm hanging with and what they're speaking over me and my business. And I got to examine it and find out, okay, Lord, are you trying to get me to move just a little bit? Hey, I want to show you guys something. Speaking of the Lord, hang on. Look at this sunset. It is amazing. I'm flipping this. Flip. Oh, is that amazing or what? That's why I'm sitting outside tonight. Look, and yay for shift. Yay for shift. You guys, I started my business online 2 years ago. If I hadn't been burnt out from, 13 years at that point of employing women to go into other people's houses and paint, if I hadn't gotten burned out from that, I never would have started my online business. And if I hadn't gotten burnt out for a little bit on making DIY videos online, I never would have started coaching. Often burnout is just God's way of just adjusting you slightly. It doesn't have to be to a totally new industry. It doesn't mean you need to leave your creative entrepreneur type of business and, go to nursing school. God bless nurses. Go be an accountant, go back to a desk job. It doesn't mean that. It just means you might need something different going on in your world because you're creative. You are bored. You have a website and you've hit a wall. Junk Mama, join my monthly group. It's at themagicbrushinc.com, which, by the way, let me just say this. I had 45 people log into my website last night from Russia and crash my site because they were trying to do stuff that they shouldn't have been on my website. So my website has been down on and off all day today for maintenance, extra security, that sort of thing. I want to kick like hackers in the shins. But I'm trying to also look at it from a positive point, and it can put some new things, security things on my website. So go to themagicbrushinc.com and hello, poppies and paint. Hi. And if you can, look for my inner circle. It's a $47 a month group. Like this month, we have a 2.5 hours worth of training on how to use social media in your small business as a creative entrepreneur. I have 180,000 social media followers right now. So I've got a pretty good handle, I think, on what social media is doing. And especially for the creative entrepreneur, we're different than everybody else. We can't do our stuff on social media, I don't think, like everybody else. And so So go there. When my site's up, I also have a free ebook for you guys if you are interested in more information on Periscope and what kinds of things you can be periscoping about if you're a creative entrepreneur. So that's at themagicbrushinc.com/Periscope. If somebody would type that in the comments, you can screenshot it. That way, if my site is still down, God bless it, that you can get it later, okay? So anyway, those are my tips on burnout, guys. I would love to connect with some more of you on my Facebook page. Go look for Jennifer Allwood on Facebook, not my personal page, but my business page. You can find me as a public figure there. And if you're feeling burnout, be encouraged, okay? It can be a good thing. Burnout's not permanent, and when you look at it right, it can totally help you, and you're welcome so much. Bless you. For all of you guys that shared this tonight, a special thank you. I appreciate that, because I was thinking today, hey, I really hope that I can get to 1,000 followers in the next couple of days. That'd be awesome on Periscope. So, all right, hubby's home, and thank you for that, Dee, for putting that in there. I appreciate it so much. You guys have a great evening, and I'll be back on Scope tomorrow.